Before the beginning, there was a terrible, saturating chill. Stillness. Silence. No movement. Apparently no possibilities. What happened next was beyond prediction, beyond all imagination. An extraordinary, almighty energy from this strange, endless nothingness. What mind could possibly predict that deep freeze would suddenly turn into unimaginable temperatures, into inconceivably vast explosions? And yet, at every single moment, at every heartbeat of the universe, remarkable things would and did take place. Events that were incalculable and unmeasurable. Things that should happen didn't. Things that seemed impossible did. Imagine it's around 14 billion years since that first Big Bang. And from one end to another, the width of this new thing that we now call the universe measures around 46 billion light years. The unknowable cosmos, a potent entity that's been growing with an ever-increasing momentum, and as this expansion continues at an escalating pace to reach from one end of the universe to another, can only ever be an impossible dream. A dream of eternity. The Sun is just one of more than 200 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way is just one of the 100 billion galaxies spread across the observable universe. Our own solar system we might want to think of as a modest small neighbourhood, or an impossibly remote irrelevance depending on your position in the cosmic vastness. On one hand, supernova explosions are taking place, which can generate at least 5 billion times more brightness than our own sun, while elsewhere, black holes wander with the potential to swallow all things. Light, particles, even the finest theories of physics. But luckily, as time goes on, our home, Earth, becomes a calmer, a benign place to live. Despite the raging fury of much of the universe, the light in our world brings great benefits, from allowing food to grow and the world to see, even to letting us today enjoy a sunrise or a sunset on a warm evening without the fear of cataclysmic cosmic impact. So the universe is spinning on both a micro and a macro scale. On the one hand, giant galaxies are rotating around themselves in a spiral motion within space. And on the other, electrons are circulating around protons without tiring. These contrasting subatomic particles are so tightly attracted and attached to each other that when there's an attempt to separate them, a nuclear bomb is created, and to unify them once more requires far greater energy than is released. If one proton is attracted to one electron, hydrogen is formed. If two electrons fall in love with two protons, helium forms. If 6 electrons mate with 6 protons, carbon is created, and if 8 electrons cannot give up 8 protons, we have oxygen. This miraculous thing, light, has been spreading out in space, where everything in the universe is held together by a kind of compunction to attract and repel. You could say, held together by love. Light is electromagnetic radiation. Light travels through space in milliseconds. It's indispensable for living. It helps the world breathe. Oxygen is born when light encounters plants. Light gives life. Let's consider the history of the 14 billion-year-old universe as spanning 365 days. Then something that loves light was born in just the last few minutes of this single year. Photography. Photography literally means writing in light. And this is the story of a photograph's life. Film is covered with an emulsion that contains silver crystal particles. When these crystals meet light, they react and burn. As a result of this transformation, the chemistry of the film changes, bit by bit, until it is totally matured, ready to radiate the beauty revealed to it. Any photograph is dominated by both the presence and the absence of light. Light and shadow are unified in a photograph. Perhaps that's why black and white photography is so compelling. A black and white photo is the purest form of light and shadow, of existence and non-existence side by side. Light always finds a path. It moves forward if there's an open space, or it reflects from any surface it hits. We are constantly surrounded by reflected light. The light of the moon is actually the light of the sun. One single source, illuminating different surfaces in different ways. Photography is sensitive to many invisible varieties of light. In order to thrive and to survive, the photograph must meet only with lights from within the spectrum. X-ray, ultraviolets and infrareds aren't what it's looking for. These cause permanent damage that cannot be reversed. But before the dawn of the photograph, there was another birth that would impact photography hugely: the incandescent light bulb. With the invention of the light bulb, photography became possible not only in daylight, but in the dark. When an electric current flows over super thin wires called filaments, electrons start to increase the speed of their movement, and the filament heats up to 3,000 degrees Celsius. That's incredibly hot. Raw materials just can't endure this temperature. They burn away. That's why the first prototype bulbs were so very short-lived. But then came a discovery that would enlighten the 20th century. By sealing the filament in a vacuum in a glass bottle, it can't catch fire until the glass containing it is broken. The light burns bright despite the absence around it. Continuous lights, flashes, HIDs, LEDs, and many other types of light help to make photography not just a scientific breakthrough, but a new form of art. A new way for the 20th century and beyond
to express itself.